they'll start fading. They're going to get bad. Okay, here we see Alex Tagliani hit pit road right now for his stop, guys.
So he's coming in at the conclusion of lap number 3. So he too is going to take advantage, top off early, get some clean track, and get back out.
And that's the best point right there, Marty. I don't think that there's a lot of risk here because, as you said, they have clean track when they leave pit road. They're by themselves. They can focus on the racetrack, and they can run faster than if they were in traffic.
Well, he was having difficulty trying to get back around Jason Leffler. And Shannon, you're in the 12th pit.
Yeah, guys, the call is for fuel only for this number 12. We're seeing this strategy start so early in this race. They're also going to clean the grill, as you see them trying to work on that right now. Alex Tagliani driving the number 12 car of his childhood hero is down and away, guys.
So he has made his first stop as we have completed 3 of the 74 laps here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And it is his son Jacques out in front. He's led every single lap so far. He's opened up a 1.8-second lead over Jason Leffler. And let's talk a little bit about Marcos Ambrose because, of course, he had the big win last week at Watkins Glen in Cup. He has already picked up 18 spots. He's 27th here on the track. Welcome back to the Napa Auto Parts 200. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. You're looking at race leader Jacques Villeneuve as he goes around the 89 of Morgan Shepherd. Morgan is the first car to go a lap down. 2 have pulled off. Jeff Green and Eric McClure are behind the wall. Behind Villeneuve, it's Jason Leffler, but 3.8 seconds behind.
Marty, you got Jacques Villeneuve running 3/4 of a second faster than the second and third place cars. You know, maybe you just throttle back a little bit. We know you have to save brakes. I've never seen anybody drive deeper in the corner than Jacques Villeneuve. This would be a good time for the crew chief to come on and say, all right, time to roll out of it a little bit, save me some race car.
And Marcos Ambrose is in early. Shannon?
Guys, remember, Owen Kelly is the driver who shook this car down, practiced, and qualified. Ambrose is saying that the rear end is a little bit lazy. They made a track bar adjustment and fuel only.
And Owen Kelly, a childhood friend, they actually raced together in the V8 supercars in Australia. A little bit different build size, but knows his style very much and did a great job qualifying that number 9 car.
Yeah, very good replacement for Marcus. He's got a lot of understanding. He respects what the guy did in his car. They're good friends. So it was a good choice to put him in there. Let him qualify and get ready.
How about this little action taking place back in the field there as the 99 of Patrick Carpentier has Ron Fellows, a former winner here, all over his back bumper.
Yeah, a couple of great Canadian racers. And Patrick Carpentier told me prior to the race, as he's battling for 8th place here, if I win, I might have a press conference Monday saying I'm out of retirement. Other than that, I'm done. I'm going back to Las Vegas and run my construction company.
Well, and Fellows looks like he is going to get around him as did Carpentier peel off. Yes, he has peeled off to head for pit road, so that makes a good reason why he would be slowing down heading in, because that's the entrance to pit road right there at turn 13.
Marty, I'm very, very surprised these guys are all pitting this early. A lot of them are just concerned about the fuel mileage. They're getting about 3.7 to 3.9. They're thinking now at the Glen and Road America, they were getting up to 4.2 miles per gallon. A lot of nervous guys. Jim, here they come.
That's right. Patrick Carpentier pulls in. They're going to clean off the grill and top off fuel. Nothing more than that. Patrick says he likes the race car. He's a little free. Other than that, he's happy with that number 99 machine. Over to Shannon.
It's going to be prevent and defense is the motto for Ricky Stenhouse today. Looking for that championship at the end of the season. It's going to be fuel only. They're also wiping the grill and Sunoco fuel.
You know, Rusty, I was doing some math. I understand your point, but I have these guys coming up 4 laps short. In other words, if they don't make this early stop, I see them going to lap 70 and having to pit a 4th time. I think they're just trying to get inside that window to make it a total of 3 stops for the race.
Well, I guess I like to gamble just a little bit more than most of these guys. At the midpoint of the race, I feel like there's going to be some caution flags. These cars can make some fuel under caution laps.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And right now, they're not gambling on anything at all. It's got to be from being scared at Road America from what happened there.
And Ricky, I get a kick on this because the guy sitting in between us didn't even know his own car was coming in on lap 4, and he did.
Well, I do like your point. It's the time of year where you don't gamble. You know, these guys are battling for a championship. They're going to be conservative. As you see, Jacques Villeneuve follow suit with everyone else, hit pit road, top off with fuel.
So he's going to surrender the race lead that he has held for all 6 laps, and he brings it in to pit road, and that means Jason Leffler is now at point ahead of Scott Speed, Robbie Gordon, and Michael McDowell and Andrew Ranger. Shannon?
As you guys see, see the 22, Jacques Villeneuve, your pole sitter. He's on his way to pit road. It's going to be fuel only for Jacques. Now, I did speak with his crew chief. He told me one thing they were really concerned about this weekend was the brakes. We know from past races, Jacques Villeneuve is very aggressive on those brakes. They have a lot of air moving to it to keep them cool. Guys?
We can also tell you Eric Almirola is in pit road right now, so he too getting service. But Jason Leffler, who in 16 prior road course races, his best finish is 6th. He's running out front right now.
Rusty, you mentioned it during the countdown to the green. He's done a great job these last 3 days, and he's having the run of his life as we watch Jacques Villeneuve get back up to speed after coming off a pit road. Danica Patrick right in front of her. She's doing a solid job.
We've mentioned Danica Patrick. Let's get an update on her situation. Rick DeBrule.
Yeah, it's interesting because talking before the race, Tony Eury Jr. had talked about the potential to bring Danica in at 4 or 5 laps. They were saying basically that they probably need a fuel strategy race to make any kind of a substantial dent and move ahead, as opposed to being sort of a 10 to 15 kind of finish. But they're a little bit earlier in the race. They were talking to her, making sure to remind her that she needs to save the brakes, to turn on those blowers for the front brakes so she doesn't wear them out, so she can keep racing the entire time.
Well, to give you an idea, she's running 17th. Villeneuve has already taken his pit stop. He's running 18th, guys. That's how fast he was.
Rusty, are these drivers so worried about brakes because they had it hammered into their heads all week long? Are they so concerned that they're being conservative on the racetrack?
They are. They know that this track right here is the hardest track on the entire circuit. It's harder than the short track we've got at Martinsville, Virginia. That's awful hard on brakes. It's harder than any other road course they run. And it's drilled in their head. They can't burn them up. They got to be careful, and they got to cool them down, Marty.
Well, those top 5 have not made a stop. They're leading in lap number 9 of 74 at Montreal. Montreal, the second and third car in your screen are the race leaders. That's the 38 of Jason Leffler and Scott Speed right behind him. They're going around slower traffic as they get past the 51 of Jeremy Clements. And there you see the 77 also in this mix. That's third place, Robbie Gordon. Gordon gets hung up a little bit through that corner. Now, on the left side of your screen, this is the onboard camera from the 33 of Scott Speed. Now, left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas.
He's a 2-foot driver, and he's using the accelerator to not only accelerate off the turn, but to help get the car to rotate. Watch him tap. That's matching his revs so he can downshift. Again. Now he's going back to the accelerating off the corner. Got an upshift. Goes left foot resting on the brake. These guys are running pretty hard right now, Rusty. I'm not sure I'd be running this hard this early, but Scott Speed might be auditioning. Listen, he doesn't have a full-time job like Jason Leffler does, so he's looking for some more work.
Well, it's pretty hard to tell a race car driver to slow down when they're really trying to, get up there and put a good show on, lead a lap, and run up front. Although I think, in my opinion, that's what you got to do here. I mean, you got to save these brakes. And right now they're not saving the brakes, but hey, again, they're racers, man. It's hard to pull the rein on them and slow them down.
Robbie Gordon in the 77 going underneath the 13 of DJ Kennington. And you mentioned Scott Speed looking for a ride. This is his first nationwide start since Homestead of 2009.
Yeah, I got to go back to Rusty's point. He says it's hard to pull back the reins on these drivers. So I went back 10 years ago when we raced together. Never slowed down. He burned the tires off him, and he ran like a rabbit. Okay, I get it.
I think it's Scott Speed. He did a lot of Formula One racing, a lot of F1 driving. He's very good on the road courses, and I think this was a good choice for Kevin Harvick to put him in his 33 car. He feels pretty comfortable on these style courses, and right away he qualified well. He's running up front, looks real smooth, and you can tell that he's back at home in the road racing end of it.
Let's update you on a couple of other drivers. Remember, Jacques Villeneuve was behind Danica Patrick. He has since gotten around her. She is shown in 14th position. We're getting word that she might have had a little contact or some kind of incident. And we'll check on that as soon as we can. In fact, let's go back and show you. As you can see, there she is on the right side of your screen.
It's like Danica's just trying to make a pass on Michael Annett on the inside.
Yeah, Michael Annett didn't see that she was there and suffered for it, obviously spinning around. This is a blind turn, right-hander. She makes it sort of a dive bomb in here, and Michael Annett didn't have the time to react and clipped her.
And while this is going on, Reed Sorensen is on pit road, Jim.
Marty, this was to be a fuel-only stop for Reed Sorensen, but he complained about having no rear grip. So they decided to put 4 tires on, fill it full of Sunoco racing fuel, and also make a major chassis adjustment for Reed Sorensen. Michael McDowell, by the way, in 1 lap ago, simply to top off.
And the battle for the race lead continues between Jason Leffler and Scott Speed. Speed keeps putting the pressure on.
Yeah, and you could see that car kick out in the back. Watch these cars as they enter and exit the turns. You can't ask them to do two things at once. You can't brake and turn at the same time. You can't accelerate and turn at the same time. You see Jason Leffler split off there and go to pit road. Scott Speed is going to lead this race.
So he'll be our third different leader. Our second lead change is now Leffler and Robbie Gordon have both committed to pit road. Right side of your screen is the race leader. Left side is Jason Leffler and Robbie Gordon. Let's check in again with Jim Noble.
All right, guys, Jason Leffler, unlike a lot of people, they are not planning on doing this early pit strategy. Oh, yes, they are. Here he comes in. Before the race, they talked about simply running their race. But Jason's having a little trouble with grip, so they decided to go ahead, top off the fuel tank, and take 4 tires. They are around to the left side of that right now. Jason revs the engine, waiting for that tank to get fuel with Sunoco Racing Fuel, and Leffler is away.
15.7 seconds on the stop. As there you see the race leader, the 33 of Scott Speed. Second place right now is the 53 of Andrew Ranger. We can tell you Ranger, good road course racer, one of that group of 20 we told you about at the beginning. And whoops, the 81 has turned it around. That's Marie-Eve Dufault in her first nationwide race. The former Price is Right model. She did it for about a month. She says, I model to make money so I can go race. She says, I'm a racer first. She's trying to work her way up through the ranks. She's run the ARCA series. Best finish there was 10th.
Former Price is Right.
Yeah, yeah. Back when, and we're just getting word from NASCAR officials. The 32 of Reed Sorensen has missed a lug nut. He's going to have to do a pass-through penalty. There he is.
You see it's on the left front right there. He's getting that lug nut put back on the tire. And boy, I tell you, that is a tough break for him because he used a lot of track position right there.
Rusty, that's a terrible price to pay. That's roughly 48-second loss, having to come back down pit road.
Well, and the 19, Mike Bliss was too fast exiting. There you see the race leader on the left side of your screen, the 33, and he's trying to get out in front of him. He does, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold him off.
Well, you know, the spotter's screaming at him. There's a leader to go, 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 go. And he's doing all he possibly can, but 33 of Scott Speed already had the momentum on him. Now with the fresher tires and the 32 car, Reed Sorensen be enough to catch him and get back in front of him.
Well, and what Speed has to worry about now, or not Speed, oh no, we got the 30 in. Let's go down to pit road, Rick.
Yeah, Borisset brings the car in. He was concerned at one point that he had a tire going down. It says he's going down the straightaway. The wheel is cocked very slightly. They're hoping that they can do it with tires, but they may have to do an adjustment to ultimately make it work. They're putting on 4 tires and fuel. Jim Noble?
It's a 4-tire stop for Ron Fellows. They're waiting to get that car full of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Remember, Ron Fellows scratched the